So we've done all of our practice sketches. Now it's time to make a journal spread. Time to put it in our journal, practice, and then practice painting the flowers and coloring them in, essentially. So this first video will work on the background of the spread, and then we'll move on to drawing the flowers and then, like I said, coloring them in. So if you know my work and have followed maybe my YouTube channel, you know that I like to use collage papers as my foundation for my journal pages a lot of the time. So here I'm using some fluid matte medium. We're going to glue down an assortment of collage papers that I have just to start the foundation of the background. So now I'm going to take my Liquitex Basics Gesso and just scrape it over the top of the collage papers. In all honesty, you may or may not see these papers in the final layers, but to me they give a fun start. They give a good texture to the background where the lines are, where the papers meet and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just covering it in the gesso, and then I'll use either a skewer or my mechanical pencil, guess we'll find out, to create some lines in the gesso. Again, this also creates texture to the background and makes it a little more interesting than just something, you know, flat. Looks like my mechanical pencil. So I've got some golden fluid acrylics. It looks like turquoise, green, gold, and I think that's like is it phthalo turquoise? And this might be like this is teal, green, gold, and like a turquoise color. So I sprayed the background first, and then I dropped the fluid acrylic in. And then, it's brand new, so I'm opening it up. So something that I like about fluid acrylics is that they are flowy. One of my favorite things about painting is watching things, watching colors flow together and mix. I find that really interesting and very satisfying. So I like to use water a lot when I'm painting to let everything kind of flow together. So like I said, I'm just kind of dripping the paints around. You don't have to use anything as fancy as these golden acrylics. Most of the time I use maybe a DecoArt media fluid acrylic, or even a Dina Wakley media acrylic. Even though that's a heavier body, it doesn't flow as much as these colors. You can still get it to do what you want and to move around and in the water and stuff like that. I find that letting things be flowy, not only do you get some cool effects with the color mixing, it also fills in that texture from the, you know, scraping into the gesso and from the collage papers. It just makes it stand out a little bit more and look really interesting. Now here I'm adding some titanium white. That is the DecoArt media fluid acrylic, to kind of brighten up what's going on in the background. So now everything is dry, and I'm taking my Stabilo pencil and just doodling some of those botanical shapes that we practiced earlier into the background. My new favorite things to do is to take some Liquitex spray paint through a stencil and just spray and see what happens. I wanted to push those botanical elements because they were in black. I wanted to kind of push them into the background, and I thought the spray paint was the perfect way to do that. And for this, I'm using a StencilGirl stencil, and I'll list all of the products and everything in the class so that you know exactly what I am using.